and more complex than ever found before due to their chemistry. And leading scientists are suggesting that this is leftovers from a 10th planet once existed in the solar system and was destroyed approximately 4.5 billion years ago. Now let's be clear, nobody can say what was going on in this solar system even a billion years ago, much less 4.5 billion years ago. And I'm not suggesting that the solar system isn't billions of years. I'm simply pointing this out because it's an example of the typical arrogance that exists too often in the scientific community and has existed throughout history. But here's the thing, they're saying that this meteor with the nanodiamonds must have moved into the asteroid belt after a collision. So wait a second. Why are scientists so committed to excluding the likely possibility that the asteroid belt was formed from a destroyed planetoid at some time? This is not to say that no scientists have discussed the possibility, but it is without a doubt considered a fringe possibility. And this is something I've researched quite a bit, and it's honestly a bit disturbing how many scientists completely scoff at this possibility. Yet, most recent scientific evidence actually supports the theory of planetary but for some reason, most of the articles on this newly found meteorite mentioned absolutely nothing about the asteroid belt whatsoever. And I actually had to go searching to find an example of it, which I found here in the New York Times article. By the way, if there indeed was some sort of planetary or moon collision which created the asteroid belt, and if it happened far more recently, perhaps tens of thousands of years ago, this would explain various myths and legends of the war in the heavens, as well as cataclysmic events that have happened here on Earth. So the next thing I want to discuss is Mars's moon photos. And there is an incredible anomaly on this moon, which seldom gets any attention from the scientific or academic community since its discovery. There is a monolith, which scientists say must be Vulcan, which is massive. In fact, it's 90 meters in height, or nearly 300 feet tall, and it is somehow standing straight up. How and what made that happen? For something so long and narrow to be completely upright is incredible. But it's even more fascinating when you take what Buzz Aldrin said about it on live TV a few years ago. Something that the mainstream news networks have completely ignored. And he stated, say, who put that there? I mean,
this is what the bag looks like.
This is what my closet looks like.
Y'all will see me in hoodies, Batman. I don't really get into Pokemon.
Which it doesn't. I mean, we've never seen any type of member of size or shape standing straight up like that, not even close. But if there was, it would be a freaking tourist attraction. I mean, can you imagine? Now, I don't know what it is, and I'm not suggesting
Can y'all see them?
Obelisk like others have.
I get a little bit frozen.
Humans are originally from Mars. I think it's
Smoke.
What I do know is that I'm curious. I want to know what it is. And what my spare money
smoke.
is spent on taking better photos of it so we can figure out what it is.
I know it's
I mean,
these
really, this is
cigarettes.
the best photo we can get? Some
I know
grainy,
smoke
blurry
bots,
photo?
but this
The
one
next
came
thing I
in.
want to discuss is Saturn, particularly the amazing and absolutely massive hexagon-shaped storm, which is located
I don't
at
want.
North
I'm not
Pole.
smoking.
Look at this thing. Isn't the shape of it unbelievable? Let me first mention, though, that hexagon shapes are
Banana.
naturally in nature, and a few examples include
That's
the
banana.
Giant's Causeway in Ireland, which
That's
is
not.
volcanic activity. We can find hexagons that make up the
Coil
honeycomb
to
hives. Even the spots on
vape
grass
juices.
shape. We even see
For my
flies and various
different ones.
insects, which eyes are made up of hundreds of hexagons.
This is a good one to head off of the rainbow.
Each of its sides exceeds the
But the red
diameter
one,
by 700 miles, and you can see a
the
comparison.
red one's my baby.
In fact, this storm is 20,000 miles across, or more than 32,000 kilometers across, and has sustained winds of more than 200 miles an hour, or 320 kilometers an hour. But what makes it even more intriguing is the fact that it changes colors, and you can see two separate examples of this between, well, two separate space missions, including the Cassini mission, where this was documented, changing from a blue to a golden color in just a few years. But speaking of changing colors, I have to discuss the false color images that are widely used by NASA, and because of that, the mainstream media as well as academics, and these photos are what are seen by most of the public. False color images are literally art renditions, and although impressive and beautiful, they are not at all what it actually looks like. And I find this to be detrimental. False aware of this. And I encourage you to talk to
I
children
guess
and
rock.
people
No,
in
you
school
can't.
and ask about this stuff. And you'll be surprised at how many
No,
of
you
them were
can't hit
taught
off
to show
of
these
it.
photos, but the teachers
I'll
failed
give
them.
you
That, oh yeah,
votes.
some artist added these colors to it. In fact, here's an example of a NASA photo of Ceres, which of course has false coloring. And you'll find this picture right on the NASA.gov website. I would say a prime example of this, though, is the Eagle Nebula, which is also known as the Pillars of Creation. And the famous Eagle Nebula just, well, it doesn't look like this. And this is not to say that it's not spectacular. And if we could travel closer to it and see it with our own eyes, I'm sure our jaws would absolutely drop in amazement. Another example is the famous Hubble telescope photo of 10,000 galaxies, which we've all seen this brilliantly colored photo. But unfortunately, all we truly see is a galaxy, which is the closest to the Milky Way galaxy. And this NASA photo is enhanced in so many ways, from the color aspects of its shape to the very fact that the picture would make you think that we can zoom in and get a really good look at it, which we can't. And here you can see actual examples of what this galaxy looked like through telescopes here on Earth. Clearly much different than the NASA photos released to the public. And this leads me to the topic of black holes. You know, when you see pictures like this, you have to know that it's a complete illustration, because we literally have zero photos of any kind which document a black hole. And most people are not aware of this because, well, we've never actually seen a black hole, and we've only been able to infer their presence. But scientists are expecting that this year, 2018, will be the year that we get our very first image of the black hole. So that is now I want to jump into the most interesting of all the information.
Alright, I'm back. That's not my vape ball.
Apparently, ancient human civilization was aware of.
I'm single with no girl wants to date me or any reason. I'm just letting y'all know us. But I love vaping.
Which is completely unexplainable based on everything we've come to do,
smoking
or
weed's
still
okay.
being taught about ancient history in school.
Don't do drugs, kids. If you ain't 18, don't be watching my channel.
Specific dimensions of the Great Pyramid of Giza. It computes to a ratio of 43,200 to that of planet Earth.
I don't care how old you are. No 15 or no 8-year-olds should be watching this. A 15-year-old can watch it. I don't care.
And how it's been used by multiple ancient civilizations from around the world, including the total years of the Kali Yuga, which is a 432,000-year period. Also, the total years of the Sumerian King's list, which just so happens to be the same number, 432,000 years. This number also just so happens to be the radius of the sun, 432,000 miles. So it gets interesting when you consider that half the diameter of the sun is 432,000 miles, but half the seconds in a day on Earth is 43,200. Again, you see that 432 number. And obviously the zeros are excluded in the study of numerology, but the examples get more crazy. The moon, for example, is 400 times smaller than the sun, but it also just so happens to be 400 times closer, which is why we get total solar eclipses. Oh, and by the way,
Be a bad smoker with it, so.
This is how I learned of this information. I highly recommend that you check out his YouTube channel and his website, and his works on cosmic patterns and cycles of catastrophe, which will blow your mind. And I'll include links in the description of this video. But subscribe to this guy and support him. Definitely go check out his channel.
Don't mind it in here.
Into the number 108.
But we gonna just talk for a little bit, watch some videos, do my reaction on it. I've about watched 20 videos on YouTube. 20 videos, 2018. Not tied to rap challenge. Yo, it's like 2 a.m. right now. 2:01. I might set this vape off. And then let it just charge all the way up. Or should I just don't smoke off of it? I I don't know yet.
Okay.
Oh, what? She's better not be fighting on me. Man, that's when I put my juice on it. Yo, this motherfucker stop. I'm not wasting any more on my banana. I'm gonna take a couple of hits off of it. I won't put it down.
Just don't let it stand on it.